If I could go back in time to when I started building my GLI, I probably would have done things differently. Because quite frankly, when I started this now 450 wheel horsepower build, I had not the first clue about how to actually build this thing. I'm not saying that in the sense of I didn't know how to order parts, because I damn sure know how to throw my credit card in online carts and buy stuff. What I'm more so referring to is buying the right things in the right order, because there's a lot of things that I wish I had done before I started throwing more power at this car. And they're things that I think are worth considering if you're new to building cars or new to the platform in general. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. It's your boy. We like to build Volkswagens and a bunch of dumb shit on this channel, as well as events, vlogs, some race days, and the occasional day in Mexico too. Like I said, today I really just wanted to get out the house and just kind of talk about my experience with building my GLI and share with you the things that I would have done differently had I known a little bit better. Now, in order, my first mod I ever did on this car was actually a cold air intake. And unfortunately, I'm not talking about the Blaze Performance one that we have on the car now. I actually used to have an APR open PEX intake before we put on the hybrid turbo with this new intake setup. And I'll be honest with you, the intake really wasn't even a problem or a bad thing to do as the first mod. It gave me a ton of cool spoolie noises and it made the car a lot more fun to drive. But it's what came after that is kind of what I regret doing next. And that was actually me buying wheels, a catback exhaust, and also a tune before focusing even the slightest bit of effort on handling and suspension mods. And I do have a reason for saying that. The first one is that basically I think a stock wheel car looks better lowered than a stock ride height car with wheels. And that might be subjective, but that's my opinion. But the main thing here is really about the tune, because honestly, I think it's better to make full use of the stock power with proper suspension and handling mods than it is to add more power that you can't truly put down. Which leads me into my next point. The stock hand hook tires on these cars are absolutely garbage, and I would highly suggest switching them out for something like a good either all-season tire or a good summer tire. At the end of the day, the tire is the only thing that connects your car to the ground, and you want to make sure that you have something good so you can keep traction through corners and also put the power down. Now, quite honestly, I'd be a hypocrite to say that you shouldn't tune your car, but all I'm trying to say is make sure you focus on the things that can make the most use of the power that your car already has before you start adding more. And that pretty much also leads me into my next point, which is buy once, cry once. Car parts are expensive, honestly. And I know sometimes it does feel good to just hit an order on something that might be a little bit cheaper, but chances are you'll probably pay for it in the long run. And believe me, if it's not the money factor, then it's definitely the time of uninstalling and reinstalling new parts. And I'm not talking about necessarily cosmetic mods, because just being human, you're probably going to change that shit anyways. And I mean that specifically talking about things like wheels and tires. But speaking from personal experience, things like suspension and my intake, for example, I did actually switch out twice. I had lowering springs and I switched to coilovers because I cheaped out the first time. And I also bought a cheap intake because I never thought I was going to go big turbo, but ended up going big turbo and decided to get a better intake. And I paid for all of those things, both financially and in time, I guess is the same thing. And my last piece of advice is something really simple. In most cases, there's really no point in trying to rush or speed run a build. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to enjoy it and enjoy the process of learning and building, and not just building and never getting able to actually drive your car. Speaking from personal experience, even though this car only makes 450, I realized that that's still a lot of power for a street car, and it's hard to use all the time. And even though I did enjoy the car stage 2 for over a year, I feel like I could have had longer with it. Because while by all means this has been a reliable car, it also makes me a little bit scared to open it up in 4th gear because of the police. And I'm also just a little bit more stressed about something breaking than when it was 300 horsepower. Either way, I feel like throughout my last 4 years of building this car, I have really enjoyed it and genuinely had fun with it. And for those of you new to the community, I do hope that this video helps in just kind of sharing at least a little bit of information and a nugget of what I have learned over the last few years, coming from someone who's not a mechanic. Just a shameless little plug, if you guys are interested in any of the parts I have on my build, I do have affiliate links down below on my website. You can go check out, support the channel. And if you don't want to do that, just hit that like button. Maybe give me a subscribe if you feel like I deserve it, I guess. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.